Hi guys, so today I will be talking about 50 Shades Darker by E.L. James, and this is just a #1 New York Times bestseller. Before I get started talking about it, I just want to show you guys what the book looks like. Please ignore the bottom of that, guys. So, yeah, getting started on this book. E.L. James, before I get started talking about the book, E.L. James, which is the author, did such an amazing job with these series. If anybody is unfamiliar with the 50 Shades series, there is 3 parts: 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and then 50 Shades Freed. Honestly, it's almost like a Twilight to me, but it's a more grown-up Twilight. So I feel like when I was a teenager, I had Twilight, and then transitioning out of my teenage years, then I had Hunger Games, and then now that I'm like a young adult, I feel like now I have 50 Shades. And I think that's such a cool part about when you have like trilogies or just like consecutive like parts to a story. Like it's something that you like feel like is a part of your life or your lifetime. And like I remember what part of my life I was in when I encountered 50 Shades of Grey, and like now that like transitioning out of this stage and not like I'm on 50 Shades Free, like it's a cool like feeling. But anyways, getting back to this book, I I never picked up the 50 Shades books. I usually am the type of person that likes to read the books before I go see the movies, but I never even knew they made books, and I probably should have known that because Twilight, I started reading Twilight before I even watched the movie. In the Hunger Games, I definitely read the Hunger Games before I even watched the movies. But with this, I was like, what? This movie's so good. So the first time I ended up watching 50 Shades of Grey, which is the first book in this trilogy, was on Valentine's Day, which is when they come out. And I went to go see it with my ex-boyfriend. And I remember he fell asleep during the movie, and I was like, wake up, you're missing the best parts. But the movie was honestly so good, and I ended up purchasing the movie, but I just really loved it. So I'm like, I went out and purchased the whole trilogy, and I started reading. And this by far is my favorite book in the trilogy, only because I feel like it gives so much depth to the main characters. Like in the first movie, it just kind of introduces them, and like it gives a little detail about their lives, but I feel like this book is really it really like explains to you like why they are the way they are, you know? And so for anybody who just wants some background knowledge, there's 2 main characters, and it is Christian Grey, and then I was about to say her real name, but there's 2 main characters in here. It's Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey. If you guys have never seen the first book or never read the first book or seen the first movie, please go read that, because I don't want to be giving away any spoilers. But I do have to talk about this book. So basically at the end of the first book, they ended up breaking up because it was over a situation that they had. Like he punished her, and she ended up leaving crying. They broke up. But this book is about him getting her back and finding out why they are the way they are. Anastasia, I don't know if it's Anastasia or Anastasia. It's like Anastasia Steele, Anastasia Steele. I pronounce it weird. People have told me that, but I don't know. But in this book, she finds out like some deep dark secrets from Christian's past, and like encounters some people that he's had to deal with and then that she ends up having to deal with. It's a very interesting like twist and turn, and I didn't expect half the things that happened in this book that did happen. It really kept me at the edge of my seat when I was reading, and I kind of did not want to put it down. So I do suggest this if you are into those type of novels. I don't suggest letting your 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 13-year-olds read this, or even going to see the movies, just because there is a lot of like, not even just sex, but the type of sex that they have is kind of inappropriate. And sometimes I find myself covering my eyes and my cat's eyes, and I'm a grown woman at this point, so just be very cautious of that fact. Even within the books, they do go in detail about certain things that I don't even think is like okay for a 16-year-old to be reading or a 17-year-old to be reading. But I think that is up to the discretion of the parents, but that is just my forewarning when it comes to these books. But this book is honestly so good, and I just want to flip through some of the pages just to show you guys. It's an easy read, not that many words on each page. Very easy read. And I love books that give you an excerpt of the next book. Those are my favorite types of books. But yeah. And I love how it has like the little email set up in here. I think that's really cool too. But like I said before, this is just 50 Shades Darker by E.L. James, and I love this book, and yeah.